All right, last example of the day here. We've got a function w depends on three variables now. We want dw dr at r is 0, s is 1, and t is 2. So let's go ahead and draw our tree diagram for the chain rule. So w depends on x, y, z. Our x here depends on two variables, s and r. Y depends on s and t. And then z depends only on r. So we want dw dr. So we only want the branches that end in r. So only those two branches. So this will be dw dx, dx dr. So dw dr is going to be dw dx times dx dr. And both those are partial because x depends on two variables. And then we also have dw dz and dz dr. R is not involved in y, so there's no derivative or rate of change through y. So dw dz and then dz dr. And notice that's a full derivative, that last one, because z only depends on r. So go ahead and dw dx, so we want x derivative of this guy. So x derivative there is 0, x derivative here 2xz. And then dx dr. So we want r derivative here, so derivative e to the r is e to the r. So this is just going to be s e to the r again. dw dz, so z derivative here. So this is a constant times z. You differentiate constant times z, you get the constant, x squared. And this is a constant times z. You differentiate, you get the constant to y squared. And then dz dr on the end, 4r cubed. So then we have to evaluate at r is 0, s is 1, t is 2. So if we plug those into plug those into x, s e to the r. So that's going to be x is going to equal 1 times e to the 0, which is 1. Your y will be s plus t squared quantity cubed. So s is 1 plus t is 2, so 2 squared, and then that gets cubed. So that's 4 plus 1, 5 cubed, 125. And then your z is r to the 4th, and r is 0. So z is going to equal 0. So we're going to plug those in here. So then this derivative will be 2xz. So 2 times x is 1. And then z is 0. Oops, I wrote the x. 2 times 1 times 0. And then you've got your s e to the r. S is 1, r is 0. So times 1 e to the 0. And then plus x squared plus 2y squared. So 1 squared. And then 2 times 125 squared. And then 4r cubed, and r is equal to 0. So times 4 times 0 cubed. And so this has got a multiplication by 0, so that whole term zeroes out. This has got a multiplication by 0, so that whole thing zeroes out. So the derivative at that particular instant is 0.